Is this video for sailing and entertainment purposes only? You're dang skippy it is. What's it like knowing that your Amberlynn's the one that got away? I am not phased.
What are you doing out here?
Karina's going to do this so much better tomorrow.
Hello, my favorite girly pops. In today's video for the low introductory price sale of absolutely nothing, you heard it here last. We are talking about Alexis, Amber's ex-bestie, spilling more tea about Amber's ex-girlfriend, ex-wifey in my comments section. We're going to take a look at that. Also, Foodie Beauty has not stopped going after Amber's ex, Beck. So what has happened is the other day we talked about this where Foodie Beauty did a live stream where she was just raging about Beck and how dare Beck make videos and make money talking about Amber, even though Foodie Beauty has conveniently forgot that she did the same thing to the people in her life, and for some reason is conveniently leaving out that Amberlynn has been going after Beck for 5 years while Beck has relatively stayed quiet. Make it make sense. So Foodie Beauty is not done with Beck. She is continuing to go after them. What a wild surprise. You know, everybody could benefit from a Kermit. Speaking of Kermits, have you ever wanted to purchase a Kermit? Well, now you can in my game show host voice. This is my affiliate link to purchase a Kermit. If you do so, please let me know when he ships so I could be excited for you. My Kermits that live in my house are just like interested in tea and gossip. Maybe some of you are as well. All right. Everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. Please don't take anything I say seriously. I'm sharing my own opinions, not facts, and publicly accessible information, first made public by public figures. Please don't go to these people's channels to leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. You can definitely leave me a disparaging or discouraging comment in the comments section below. Let's start with what Alexis has to say. So this is what Alexis wrote in my comments section. Alexis and Amberlynn used to be besties, best friends, and then they had a falling out, and then they had a reconciliation. But I guess Amberlynn just could not choreograph first place friendship. Here we go. So this is about ex-wifey. Ex-wifey and Amber and I used to sit on the phone on a three-way for hours when they broke up. One time, wifey was on a business trip in DC. She was in a certain line of work, and they were fighting a majority of the trip. That's when wifey spilled a lot of stuff to me, even though Amber was right on the phone having a hissy fit that she was telling me this information. But when wifey asked Amberlynn for my number and told her I was cute and I looked like her ex-fiance, Amberlynn stopped letting us talk to each other. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say is I don't think, and these are just my opinions, not facts, I don't think it's healthy for anyone to have like a conversation constantly all the time with their best friend and their partner on the same line. Like, I just think it's unusual and probably not best for that relationship, that romantic relationship, and definitely not what's best for that friendship. Relationships should probably have boundaries, and in my experience and in my opinion, when relationships don't have boundaries, that's when the problems begin. There needs to be boundaries. There has to be boundaries. Like, why are you on a conversation where it's always at the same time with your partner and your best friend? I hate to break this to everybody, but there's a lot of things that people don't tell their friends and their partners too. No matter what anybody tells you, people do not say absolutely everything to their partner. And even if they do, there has to be different times for different people. Like, it just seems like no boundaries. And as far as wifey and Amberlynn fighting, Amberlynn tried to pretend that she had this fabulous, amazing relationship with wifey. Amber, you didn't have a fabulous or amazing relationship with any of your exes, and we know that. As far as wifey supposedly spilling all of this stuff on the phone while Amber was listening, this goes back to people need to have boundaries. This seems like a lot of disrespect going on, disrespectfulness. And by the way, even though I fully disagree with all of Amber's actions, the main one being lying that you're in happy relationships and that you're not constantly dumped. Who remembers when Amberlynn said that the breakup with wifey was mutual, and then my Kermit, if he hadn't retired, he would determine that was a lie. Anyways, it doesn't seem like Amber had a good relationship with any of her girlfriends, certainly not wifey. You can see fighting, whatever. But the favorite part, this last part, I did hear Alexis say somewhere on the internet before that basically wifey allegedly did that, asked for Alexis's number. Well, Amber, you know what? This is called karma. I briefly want to show you something about Amberlynn, which is why I personally don't take anything she says seriously. I want to draw your attention to this video right here. I did not talk about it yet. It was filmed supposedly on January 20th, 2025. She is very much so behind in posting super old content. It's called I'm Not Okay, right? In the video, she starts doing what I eat in a day, completely stops at the end, and she says that she's having a panic attack, something bad happened. Pretty much she's implying she won't say what it is, but she's visibly upset. She's been crying. She stopped, literally, listen to what I'm going to tell you, literally stops filming the video that she was filming because something happened, something bad happened. Okay, this is what I think. I think that on January 20th, this is my opinion, 20th, 21st, Tommy broke up with her. And then Amberlynn didn't know that Tommy was going to go public about this and post those Instagram stories on the 26th, 27th. Because if you look at the timeline, Amber announces during her live stream, January 26th, okay? January 26th. What do I think happened here? I think January 20th or 21st, when she was filming this video, when she was doing what I eat in my day, Tommy breaks up with her. She doesn't think that anyone's going to know about it because she doesn't have any experience with any of her girlfriends having a very public social media and posting about her. She doesn't think anyone knows and doesn't tell anyone that she was broken up with on January 20th. That's what this panic attack is about. That's what happened. That's why she's so devastated in these clips, and that's why she's saying, something is going on. My mental health is not well. She just got broken up with on the 20th. Or she's feeling that she will. The disingenuous part about this is that she doesn't tell anyone what happened. My opinion, 2 reasons. Number one, on January 20th, she still believes Tommy can change her mind. To be fair to the situation, people break up all the time and then change their mind. That's why she doesn't want to tell the audience. And this is the really disingenuous part, in my opinion. She knows she got broken up with. She's planning to do a big breakup video that she knows is going to get her 90 to 100,000 views and money. This is not genuine. The funny part about this whole thing is that she doesn't tell people that she already was broken up with, right? Because she wants to make the big breakup video and make the money. But she did not foresee in this clip that 6 days later, Tommy was going to reveal it all on Instagram, and she was going to have to go live and admit that, yes, she was dumped. The outrageous part is, how are you, Amberlynn, going to go and post your big breakup video that's coming, that's very old now, when it's already been talked about by all the reaction channels and you yourself in a live stream? Posting old tea and old content is not what your audience wants. Dia is ridiculous because we already know that you got broken up with. I find it highly disingenuous. And I just want to say this. She doesn't owe us. I want to be clear. She didn't have to tell us that she got broken up with. I don't care either way. The idea is it's super disingenuous to not tell your audience in these clips because you plan on making that big video. You're not even going to make the money that you wanted to on this upcoming breakup video because everybody already knows about it. Nobody needs to discuss it further. We already know. She already told us why Tommy dumped her. Okay. I want to draw your attention to her new thirst trap TikTok. Amberlynn is back on TikTok doing thirst traps for the new girl. She's trying to look for a new girlfriend. And somebody said to her, hunting for a new girlfriend again, thirst videos is a sure sign. If you think this is a thirst trap, you must be dehydrated. Amberlynn, you have your makeup on, you have your hair straightened, you have your hair clips match your earrings. These are the same thirst traps you used to do to get Tommy. One more point, and this is why I do not take anything seriously that she says. It's not genuine. She does a breakup TikTok, meaning that she posts her ex Tommy in like a whole TikTok, and you see their relationship, and then she shows at the end of the new TikTok that she made herself crying from her upcoming video where she got broken up with. This is not a genuine thing to do because who in the world acts out their breakup on TikTok? People be truly devastated by a breakup. I've never, not once, seen anyone act it out acts it out on TikTok. Yeah, sure, people discuss it or whatever, but nobody goes through the motions of physically being an actor and acting it out for the audience. This is all fake. Let's move on to Foodie Beauty. All right, let's move on to Foodie Beauty and Beck. If you don't know, Foodie Beauty has recently done a live stream. I talked about it in yesterday's video where she completely went off on Beck, saying that Beck will only be known for being Amber's ex, and Beck is clout chasing and trying to make money by spilling secrets on Amberlynn. And basically what happened is Foodie Beauty's community called her out on it, and she's not budging. Like, she admits that she shouldn't have gotten involved, but is continuing to trash Beck. And here's a new community page post about that. Chantal, you're making a very large mistake. So this is what Foodie Beauty is now saying about Beck. Don't worry, by the time that this video goes up, she would have deleted her community page post, because what Foodie Beauty does, if you don't know, is she posts a lot of dramatic community page posts and then she deletes them right away, which makes a lot of sense, of course. Please stop coming here and crying about me calling Beck a clout chaser. I don't care. Clearly evidenced by you creating a community page post because you don't care so much. I know when I don't care about something, I definitely mention it. This isn't even for money. You're not even getting people to come to your video about Beck or anything like that. I can understand writing something on your community page where you invite people to watch a monetized video, but not this. You're just that obsessed about it. It's also pretty crazy that anyone wants to compare me calling out actual, and she starts talking about the things that she says happened to her when she was dating somebody. By the way, she wasn't actually dating the person, but why should that stop us? To having to help a partner with personal care. I haven't talked or made content on somebody she didn't used to date. Meanwhile, Beck has continued to make their entire channel pretty much about reacting to reactions of ALR, which is obviously for views and to continue the clout she had and to continue the clout they had off of ALR's name. You don't see me talking about this person being out of the relationship for so long and having processed what it did to me because I didn't process it while in it. ALR has been in 2 relationships since Beck. Time to move on, in my opinion. Even Foodie Beauty doesn't think that Erica/Valentine was a real relationship of Amberlynn. I just wanted to add that in because if you think I missed that, I didn't. Yes, the married woman that you never met, Amber. Right, her. Time to move on, in my opinion. Anyways, that's the last I'll speak about them. I really could care less about Amberlynn Reid drama. No offense. My fault for bringing it up, lol. Well, I thought that you weren't involved. I thought you weren't raging. You said you weren't involved. You created this problem for yourself. And we're going to go through this community page post, but I got to tell you, you know what I think? I think at this point, my opinion, not a fact, is I think that Amberlynn messaged Chantal and asked her if she could just like defend, Amber, because Amber knew that nobody was going to be on Amber's side and everyone was going to be on Beck's side. Now let's take a look at the blatant lying that Foodie Beauty is doing. So, as far as this community page post, Beck is not a clout chaser. Beck has had a job for a very long time. Pretty much from my remembrance, as Amberlynn would say, once Beck and Amberlynn stopped living together, Beck did have a job. Beck continues to support themselves and is not a clout chaser. You, on the other hand, have nothing except for YouTube, Chantal. You beg people to buy your cameos. You ask people and beg people to come into your live streams and you want the super chats. And you make YouTube videos of yourself eating for money. Without this job on YouTube and whatever you're making on Cameo, you cannot go further. Like, I don't think you'd be in the relationship you're in right now. You would not have been able to give him $9,000 that you gave your supposed husband when you first started dating without this. How is Beck a clout chaser when they have a job? Now, the situation with Beck to me is very simple. Even if you are not on Beck's side, which I know most people here are, but even if you're not, what actually happened, if anybody cares about the truth, is go and fact check this if you don't believe me. Amberlynn got broken up with and could not handle it. because it's called narcissistic injury, and she couldn't believe that somebody in her mind that was, not on her level broke up with her. Beck left and just asked, can you please not talk about me? What Amberlynn did is for the next 5 years, she degraded and made terrible videos about Beck, trashed Beck on Instagram, and live streams any chance she got. Why? I want Chantal to answer this question. And I don't think that people should, I never say this, but I think that Chantal needs to be held accountable for just this right now. Like, I never say, like, hey, go over there and ask a question, but I'm asking the question right now. Chantal, I need you to be held accountable to this one thing. Answer your community now why it was okay for Amberlynn to trash Beck for 5 full years on YouTube and live streams, in Instagram stories, on her channel, on other people's live streams. But it's not okay for Beck to spill the tea after Amberlynn has. Amberlynn going on her channel and talking about a very private story, just for one example, about how she was proposed to, is inappropriate. She was asked, please stop talking about me. So how is it okay? Talk about being a hypocrite, Chantal. What? This is not about Beck. This is about you being so obsessed with someone who doesn't even like you. You and Amber do not like each other. Amber has extensively said that she doesn't care for you. She's extensively betrayed you on the internet publicly at 4 a.m. You know what I'm talking about, Chantal. Why are you defending somebody when you don't like them, they don't like you, you're fake friends? And more importantly, I want Chantal to answer this. Why is it okay for Amberlynn to make videos about Beck for 5 years, to lie about Beck for 5 years, to go into other people's live streams, to go into her own live streams, to go on Instagram and continuously trash Beck, but it's not okay for Beck to respond? This is the common sense thing that Chantal doesn't understand. If Amber did not talk about Beck and did not lie about Beck and did not spread rumors about Beck, there is no way, in my opinion, that Beck would come on and do any reaction videos. And I'm going to prove this to you right now. For years, as Amberlynn was continuously, constantly trashing Beck for 5 years, Beck had the opportunity to make their own videos, had the opportunity to expose Amber, and never did. I think what's happened now is Beck was pushed to the brink. Beck was pushed to the last level, and no one would be able to stay quiet if they were continuously harassed, demeaned, and disparaged by their ex. As far as the other thing that Chantal is saying here, and this is very important, especially for the foodie beauty community, okay? So Chantal here is comparing what happened to her with somebody that she used to see, and with Beck, what did you say? Helping a partner with personal care. You were never in a relationship with the person that you're speaking of. There was never a romantic relationship. You were not in a relationship. Once bad things started to happen, you could have left at any time. You had a lot of money at that time. You were not connected to anybody in any way. There was no children involved. You were not financially manipulated or controlled. You compare whatever happened to you and Beck helping a partner with personal care. Since you want to talk about this, because another thing that I didn't post in my video yesterday was that Chantal said that, pretty much Beck signed up to help Amber in the lavatory. So let's deal with this. This is my opinion, and a lot of you have been asking this in my comment section. Who is helping Amber in the lavatory now? I believe that while Amber did definitely need help in the lavatory sometimes, I think that she was degrading and mistreating and forcing Beck to do this to humiliate them. I don't think that Amberlynn needed help in the lavatory every single day, and I can prove that to you. She was just, making Beck do it just to degrade them, and also because she didn't want to do it. She's lazy. Destiny has extensively said that she never dealt with anything, pretty much, that, like, Beck dealt with later. Okay? Destiny wasn't doing it. Highly doubt wifey was doing it. And it's obvious that Amberlynn, okay, has not asked any other girlfriends to do this, only Beck. There's no way that wifey was doing it. There's no way that her mother is doing it now. And there's no way that Tommy did it. I just don't see that happening because while I do believe that Amberlynn, yeah, she needed help sometimes, like after surgery, which is understandable, but not every single day. Because think about this. Just think about it, okay? Here's how I could prove it to you. Amberlynn lives without mom. She physically lives alone. Mom drives her everywhere. Mom doesn't see her every day. How would Amber be getting help from mom every single day in the lavatory then? Because she doesn't see mom every day. That's a matter of fact. Therefore, plus remember, mom works, so mom can't be there every time Amber's in the lavatory. Therefore, Amberlynn never needed that help every single day. She degraded Beck and humiliated Beck by demanding that type of care from Beck when she didn't need it. Because Amberlynn, I don't care what Amberlynn says, she's in the exact same situation currently as she was back then. What's the big deal? There's not a huge difference. All the other girlfriends weren't doing it. Mom isn't doing it because mom doesn't even live with her. Therefore, she made Beck do that all the time because she just didn't feel like it. It's called a word that begins with letter A, aka mistreatment, okay? Chantal says, time to move on, Beck, in my opinion. ALR, Amber, has been in 2 relationships since Beck. Why are you not directing this to Amber? Amber's the one that hasn't moved on. Amber's the one that makes videos about Beck. Amber's the one that goes into live streams and on her Instagram stories and talks about Beck. Beck is engaged, and Amber has had 2 girlfriends, 1 fake girlfriend, and is still obsessed. It's so unfair and ridiculous that Amber's the one that started this and perpetuates this till this day. And when someone responds to Amber, oh, it's Beck is the one that's doing it for views and money. You are doing it for views and money, Chantal. At least Beck has a job outside of this. You don't. The reason that I brought up, finally, I'm just going to finish with this. The reason that I brought up that Foodie Beauty could have left, Chantal could have left her situation when she wanted to, while Beck couldn't have. Beck was financially manipulated, mistreated, and controlled by Amber. Okay? Chantal had the money in her situation. Also, this is so ridiculous, and it goes without saying, but I have to say it. Chantal, throughout what she said about Beck and in this community page post, keeps saying that she didn't talk about people that she used to see romantically, and that is not true. I myself have seen Chantal talking about these type of topics and bringing this up, like I believe last month, the month before that. Whenever anything really big happens with Chantal, she goes back to that because she's obsessed with people she used to see romantically, and she dares say anything about Beck. Beck doesn't care about Amber like that. They're just responding to being humiliated and trashed on the internet for 5 years. If someone is talking about you, you have every right to speak back about them. This is what I always say, that I understand why Amber says things about reaction channels. She has every right to, because they talk about her. Here's the thing. For Foodie Beauty to blatantly lie and say that she does not talk about, she does not talk about people that she used to be involved with is a blatant lie. Everybody here knows that she does. She also mentioned getting some party favors from someone. Let me tell you something, Chantal. You were a grown adult by the time that you were in that situation. You should have protected yourself. Very basic way. Blame yourself for you choosing to be obsessed till this day. I've always said this about obsession, okay? Television, movies, people, whatever, they make you think that the worst kind of obsession that a person can have is when somebody drives past your house, texts you, calls you, talks about you, whatever. That is not the worst type of obsession that somebody could have. The worst type of obsession somebody could have, the obsession that I believe Foodie Beauty has with the people that she used to see in the past, is when it's a quiet obsession, something that festers permanently forever. She will always be obsessed with the people that she used to see. It's common sense. She's obsessed, and I say this every time we talk about this. But wait, if you thought that there was more, if you thought that Chantal lying blatantly when it's on her own channel and reaction channels and saying, well, I don't talk about anybody I used to see white as Beck. When you do, Chantal, you do. If you thought that was over, it's not. Beck is a grifter. They only come around when they need money or a new car years later, and they still haven't figured out how to do anything but live off ALR. It's been too long for everything to still be Amber's fault, but if Girl World keeps throwing money at an obvious grifter, good for Beck. You said it best. I agree 100, says Chantal. And people only give a crap about them because they were with ALR and can reveal secrets about her. Really? Okay. So here's my main question here. Okay, my main question. It's been too long for everything to be Amber's fault? Why is it that Amber forced Beck to help her in the lavatory all the time and never asked any other girlfriends to do that? That's humiliation to embarrass Beck. Why did Amberlynn put timers on Beck's time and said, like, you're not allowed to spend time with your family. You're not allowed to spend time with your friends once the timer goes off? That's control. That's manipulation. Okay. So the thing is, Chantal and the person that wrote this, Beck has been working this entire time, but Amber hasn't. Like, honestly, you know what it is? I'm not even going to continue on this, like, responding to that comment, because what I've learned from making YouTube videos myself is there's still people that come on and see Amber's private DMs and see how badly Amber treats people, and then they say, well, you're blowing it out of proportion, or you're reaching. Did you even see the evidence? Did you even look at it? Did you even look at what was said? Like, obviously not. The idea here, okay, that they haven't figured out how to do anything but live off of ALR is untrue, because this entire time, for this entire 5 years, Beck has been employed, working, and not talking about ALR, while ALR has been doing nothing but talking about Beck. Chantal, this is not going to end well for you as far as the community. You are just wrong. You don't have to like Beck. If you don't like them, that's fine. But you are wrong. Your bestie over there is the one that started the situation, perpetuates the situation, and has done nothing but talk about Beck. If Amber is going to trash Beck, Beck has every right to respond. You seriously went after Beck? Foodie hearted that comment and said, yep, can't stand cloud chasers. Your frenemy Amber, who betrayed you at 4 a.m., okay, is a cloud chaser. She's back on TikTok making thirst traps. Is that not embarrassing? Okay, trying to get another girl. Chantal, you begging for cameos, doing live streams, videos. This is not cloud chasing. You cannot pay your bills without YouTube, but Beck can. Anyways, I think that going after Beck is a mistake, because first of all, this is none of your business. You claim you don't like drama, you don't want to be involved, you claim you didn't get involved, but you did, and you even made a community page post about it, because the majority of the community disagrees with you, Chantal. Ultimately, some of you have been saying in the comment section that she's like very upset about this because, you know, like, she may need people to help her in the lavatory, so she relates to Amber. If that's the case, I really don't care about this. Everything she said about Beck isn't true. Factually not true. Beck has a job. Chantal only has YouTube. Amberlynn only has YouTube. Beck did not talk about Amberlynn for 5 years, but Amber talked about them. Look, bottom line is, Chantal, I know you believe that Amber is your friend. I don't think so. My opinion is that Amberlynn asked Chantal 100% to stand up for her because nobody else would. So, rinse, lather, Delulu, here we are. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. Check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.